Today we're making a pistachio pasta with some cream, pecorino and lemon. And this dish clocks in at 831 calories per portion, 29 grams of proteins, 85 grams of carbs and 39 grams of fat. So, for your pistachios, if they're not roasted, you should roast them in the oven. I'm gonna do that at 160 degrees. And we're gonna use 35 grams of pistachios. If you think that's too much and add too much calories, you can always go into the spreadsheet and change to the amount you want. I'm also gonna use some cooking spray and some salt for roasting mine. And we're gonna be roasting them in the oven at 160 for roughly 10 to 15 minutes. 13 was enough for me. And we're gonna put them aside and let them cool down a bit. And after that we're gonna grate 20 grams of pecorino. So we have that ready for later on. Then we're gonna boil some water, and to that water we're gonna add 100 grams of pasta. It doesn't really matter what you use. And once our water is coming up to boil, we're gonna chop our pistachios up. And then we're gonna measure out 100 grams of pasta. So our water is boiling, we're gonna salt that, and then we're simply gonna add our pasta and let that boil for the appropriate amount of time. And we're gonna put on another pan that we're gonna put in 100 grams of cream into. 100 grams of low-fat cream, meaning 13%. While that's heating up, we're gonna grate the zest from 1 lemon, and we're also gonna use the juice from half a lemon. That means that the lemon flavor is gonna be quite intense, so if you don't like that much lemon flavor, you can always just add a zest or not use as much. But once we're reducing our low-fat cream, we are going to add most of our pistachios into this, and then all we need to do is reduce that until it's fairly firm. And this is really simple to make. It takes roughly the amount of time it does to cook your pasta. We're gonna add some pepper to this and some salt as well. Once our cream is reduced and our pasta is done, all we need to do is add our pasta to our pan. We're also gonna pour in some of that pasta water. If you do too much, it's not really a problem, just reduce it. However, since our pasta water is quite salty, that means it's gonna become very salty if you do too much. Then we're gonna turn off the heat and let it cool down for a little while before we add our cheese. So we want this to be a little bit runny because we're gonna thicken that up with our pecorino. So just put that to the side and let it cool down for roughly 30 seconds to a minute. And as you can see, it's still quite wet and loose. And that's what we want. So in with our pecorino and just stir that together. Tossing it usually makes the sauce combine very well, so that's a nice thing to do. Put that on your plate. Don't forget the rest of the pecorinos that we left from earlier. I also like to microwave some basil. Just put it on like 130 watts and microwave it until they're very, very dry. Then you can put them through a fine mesh sieve and add some color to your dish. So they just become very, very dry and crispy eventually. And then you can just push them through and get a nice bit of green sprinkling on your dish. So that's it. I hope you try this, and if you do, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching.